Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going over CaseyisAwesome's defense, also known as Nug Life on Discord. They have some pretty standard teams here, and we're going to go over some ideas that you can do to tweak them, get a little more value out of them, mostly like where can you use Apocalypse and is Emma better than Noir? Questions like that we're going to hit on and see what you guys think. We had Pathfinder Gaming and my wife, Way Too Raw for You, in chat on voice, helping me. Of course, chat was talking to us as well, giving us some ideas with some back and forth. If you want to be a part of those conversations, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch, links are in the description below. You can come hang out. And of course, if you want to have your defense featured on Defense Up, whether it be Crucible or War, be sure to DM me those screenshots. The list is actually getting pretty short, so you won't have to wait too long. And I'll get you on that list and we'll get you put up here. Okay, so team number one is the YA team. We have two problems with this. America Chavez is a skirmisher, probably for use in war on like an APOC Darkhold team to speed up Apocalypse and or MLF, that sort of thing. And you make her a skirmisher because she doesn't have the striker attack going on with those compositions. So we need to put her back to a striker so that she gets that striker skirmisher combo going. And then Squirrel Girl needs to be moved out of the corner. A lot of the different, primarily the Dark Hunters and other things, and the A-Force can come into this. And they chain from left to right. And so you want her in the middle position so that chain with the ability block from A-Force can go either left or right. And then the Miss Marvel, if the Dark Hunters come in here, it's a similar thing. You want that disrupt to land, and so you move her out of the corner, and then the initial person isn't her with the disrupt, that sort of thing. So those two characters you can. Miss Marvel isn't so important, but Squirrel Girl, definitely get her out of the corner. I'm gonna go with a B for this one. You need some tweaks there. Probably not a team we really need to invest in anymore at this point. All right, team number two is Gamma. All we really want to do here is swap places with Abomination and Red Hulk. That will help. We're finding that just keeping Red Hulk out of the line of fire helps a little bit to make things happen. We can talk about ISO classes for this team. I like Red Hulk as a striker. I also run him as a raider. Brawn works good as a healer. He works good as a skirmisher. He's great as a striker. You've got She-Hulk who can be healer or skirmisher. Abomination is really the only one who is like dead certain you want him as a raider. Everybody else can flex to almost anything you want him to do. Well, maybe not fortifier unless you're in like room 3 or something, but whatever. Anyway, the biggest thing is let's swap places with Red Hulk and get him out of between those two taunting tanks there. Just swap places with A-Bomb. I'm going to go A-. It's not detrimental. There's just things we could do to tinker with it a little bit. Team number 3 is the Darkhold. This is fine the way it is. However, what we could do to make this more potent, if you really want to bring it up a notch, throw in Apocalypse in here. And what you're going to do is you're going to put Apocalypse and MLF on either side of Wong and put Wong in the middle because we're in portable shield device. Then you make Wong a fortifier. He spreads those positive effects with his ult, which is his turn 1 move, and he gives those to Apocalypse and MLF. Now, he always calls an assist from one Darkhold member, from one random Darkhold member, and he will be adjacent to only MLF as a Darkhold member, so she will still get the call every time, and that works great. Yeah, and I think that's about it. You can keep Agatha adjacent to MLF, so she calls MLF, excuse me, and that way she's getting called. So that's how we do it. So it would be like Agatha, MLF, Wong, APOC, and then Doctor Strange out on the corner. That's going to make it pretty tough. Wong is a fortifier spreading those positive effects. You can get some real mileage out of it. But honestly, this works great. I'm still going to give it an A. It's a highly functioning team, and I like what you're doing with it so far. Over here, we have team number 4, which is the Infinity Watch. Adam Warlock is 7 red stars. I wish he had teal gear, but at this point in time, I think the team's a little too far gone to be investing in it. It's your choice. It is a great defensive team. It just soaks up so many efficiency points, but it's not one that we can really invest in so much. Skirmisher or Striker for Adam Warlock works great. I'm running him as a Striker. I kind of want him as a Skirmisher, though, to make sure that ability block lands. His focus isn't quite as high as I think it should be. However, the rest of this is just fine. I can give this team an A. Those are just some ideas. If you really, have those extra pieces of gear you want to spend on, I guess you could do it. But it's working great as is, so it's an A. We're going to move on to the next team. Here we have the Tangled Web plus Emma in place of Noir. Pathfinder Gaming thinks that Noir is the greatest character in all of Marvel Strike Force, better than Apocalypse, better than Kang, and that everyone should just drop their wallets, forget farming him, and go build Noir right now. No, that's not true. He just thinks that if you happen to have a Noir that is equally built to your Emma, that Noir would be the better choice. However, Casey's Noir is actually like G15, like I think he said 175 power or something like that. So that wouldn't be as effective as Emma in here, so we're going to keep Emma in here. Everything being equal, Noir would be the better choice. We don't really feel like Noir is a great investment outside of this. There's just not a lot of use for it. But once he gets up there in the stars, once you farmed him up to 7 yellow stars, 6 red stars, something like that, that stealth 20% damage boost, all that stuff coming out of room number 5, he really knocks people off their feet. So he isn't terrible. I just have trouble telling people to invest in him at this point. Let's find out maybe some niche hybrids where we could use him in other places and find some value for that character before people go nuts. Otherwise, just throw Emma in here. The alternative, if you really want to go nuts and make it tough, is once again, we throw an Apocalypse in here in place of Emma, and that really crushes. I was running that for a while. People had a very hard time clearing the room at all. It's kind of the ultimate one, but do you want to use Apocalypse on defense or do you want to have him for offense? That's up to you. This works as is. I think Emma should be a healer or a skirmisher, whatever you initially built her as. Fortifier does have some value here, keeping her on her feet so that she can get to her cleanse, but it's really not that big a deal. So just kind of keep Emma at whatever it is that you built her. And if you do want to build Emma up to put on this team, I suggest Skirmisher so that she's placing a vulnerable, especially when you're using her on hybrids on offense. You can have her specifically place a vulnerable where you want it to go. So that's where I think Emma should be placed. And I also think Emma's a very valuable character on offense as well. So there's something to be said of taking her off of this team simply to use her on offense. All in all, this works. I can give this team another A. There's nothing really wrong with it. There's just some options for people if they want to go in different directions. Team number 6. Wow, what a surprise. It's Wakanda in room 6. I think we've talked about this to death, right? Haven't we? Okay. War Dogs is the best investment overall outside of this. Wakanda! Thank you, chat. Appreciate that. And Black Panther 1 mil is in here. That's fine. I think the OG Wakandans kind of work better as a defense against Darkhold, but it's kind of splitting hairs. MOE is going to knock the crap out of any version you put in here at any power level. Masters of Evil are the supreme Crucible team. They're just nuts good. So the placement's fine. The ISOs are fine. You could make M'Baku a striker if you wanted to get some of that striker skirmisher combo synergy going. Wouldn't matter. Fortifiers, it's not really a big deal. I run mine as a striker, but yeah. So I think we know everything that's been going on here. I can give this one an A. If you have something spicy, something sweet, something amazing that you want to throw into room 6 and show off that you think is going to garner some sort of a good response from me that isn't going to bore me to death like the Scopely's Wakandans in 6, please send me those pics. I really want to see that. Otherwise, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.